Hi, welcome to Congratulations, You're a Twit. This is a series where I discover new yardsticks by which all manner of tactical decadence will henceforth be measured from. So, if you are prepared, let's do exactly that. So in this gameplay review, I said I could play old replays. Henceforth, some cheeky bugger sent me a replay from 9.1, I believe? Challenge accepted! I will preface this by saying, normally with this series, I try to offer some manner of enlightenment in most of the replays that I present. I try to teach or inform in some way. This replay, the incompetence on display is so wild and varied throughout the game that I can't really. I can't explain all the time why what's happening at every moment is so incredibly asinine. So for the most part, I'm just going to take the piss out of it and hope that comedy value serves to provide that level of entertainment and engagement. Let's hope. So, among the myriad things that are different back in this patch, the KV-1S is still the undisputed king of the middleweight tanks, roaming around here at 40 km an hour, but with its 122mm gun currently found on the KV-122, which is a KV-1S at tier 7. But there's something incredible that I noticed about this old patch. Something fantastic, something miraculous, ladies and gentlemen. The render distance is a square. And I don't know about you, but I'm just here for the sound effects. Yeah, one more. Oh, God, it's like porn for the ears. So why are you seeing this game? Well, pretty simply, it's because suddenly by appearances, almost everyone participating in it is just a complete goit. For example, there's KV-1S, who forgets the alpha damage of the tank he himself is driving and fucking dies. Or this Cheeto, who, as valiant as his corner fighting attempts are, should, in all seriousness, probably get out of the heavy tank's way. Or he could make way for this speckled genius in a tier 3 tank destroyer who decides that 122mm shells would be a perfect solution to the whole continuing to exist issue. Which it was. But now there's been a martyr. It's way funnier than it should be. The Cheeto died, by the way. Chino. So the SU-100 Why God Why fires, bounces, and is promptly recycled, leaving the scores at 6-6. I'll just take a moment to point out that not once during this entire engagement, I don't know whether I've shown you all of it, but not once have any of these enemy heavies decided to pre-aim on this corner after these two have fired, which is an integral component of heavy tank combat. But note, Dale and the other KV can freely pull back, reload and poke without ever having to pass into an anticipated shot. Unbelievable. And as his friendly KV-1S dies, the enemy heavy gallivants mentally around the corner and fucking dies, because he forgot that the heavy tank that got spotted literally 10 seconds ago still actually existed. Meanwhile, the T-34 waits patiently for the 13 seconds or so that it takes for this tank to reload, and then joins his compadres in both hell and on the list of people too stupid to avoid it. Shortly thereafter, random Churchill chucks mentally past, looking the complete wrong way, and wins a Wonka golden shell. Dale's last remaining ally dies, and he's left alone against Robin Hood and his band of utter morons. Dale begins searching for his enemies before the base siren sounds, and he presses towards it. Unfortunately, this cap circle has a place that you can use to very easily force aggro from an enemy, pressuring them to reveal themselves to long-distance, multi-level engagements in the field. So, of course, the Churchill is sat in the dead centre of the cap circle, staring off in a complete wrong direction. And it's only by the ludicrous whims of Iron Jesus that he still accumulates cap points. Now, Dale in a difficult situation, flanked by the EA, others likely coming up behind him, but still time left on the cap, so Dale wants to deal with this, pre-aiming on the corner. The EA appears but backs off, the Marder gets proxied, he puts a shot in, Dale turns, and the EA gets a little too cheeky and gets shut down. The Marder's still bouncing, but the KV-1S appears, Dale plows forward, the KV-1S imitates his Lord and Saviour, the trackpad player, turning only his turret. Dale smushes the Marder like a cow sitting on a chicken, and then redeems the KV-1S's free colonoscopy. But alas, even with the excellent mobility of the KV-1S, he will not be able to reach the Churchill, who now will be sat behind the building. Fuck me, he didn't even turn the hull. You know, I often wonder if people send me games like this expecting my admiration or enthusiasm. I don't know if that's a desire of theirs. I wonder if I offend them when I react with, I guess, scorn and disbelief in equal measure. I suppose that... I get that the skill level, kind of across the board, was lesser at the time this match was played, but the sheer level of just feculent lunacy that arose from the pungent depths of incompetence to bring this game to fruition was staggering. Also, I'm not sure why Dale's loading HE here. He has 2090 Alpha, and he's fighting an old hitpoint SU-5. No idea. Not that it matters. Can I have those enemies? Please. So, we're gonna pick up this game with me being a complete idiot, because I knocked this tree down in the wrong direction. Who cares? Roll with it. And this guy has got a feeling he's being watched. Suddenly, a random tree next to him turns into a Stephen 90 and runs away. That, WZ, is why you should never piss off a wizard. Anyway, you may have noticed, as I did, the asinine efforts of the enemy team to push the valley. And as per my Where to Never Go video, I happily demonstrate why that assault on their part was a thoroughly abysmal idea. Our team quickly relocates out wide to provide the multi-level engagement. I'm up front getting vision, and the entire enemy team is stunted by a force that they outmatch both numerically and by tank-to-tank capability. Now, we lose this game. But like a Bond film, it's the how that we're here for. First off, let's begin by looking at this. Nah, godhead. This fine gentleman, of course, gleefully awaits his future of dying pointlessly and then calling the team noobs. Because some things don't change. Now, the Type 4 and Type 5 AV and the IS-3 actually come back, which is good. However, the tactical play here is a multi-level engagement. And you can see my view on that to understand it in greater detail. The point being, the more tanks you have in fire support, the stronger it is. So you'd expect these guys to go to the T100 LT's position. Nope. They in fact do the only thing that can lose us the game, they rush up here. So let's see why that's so bad. Well, in my video I placed a tank here. And this is an essential component of a secure 1-2 line defense. This position, the winning of the town, serves not only as cover for people here if they're assaulted, but also dissuades crossfire from distance. This game, we don't have that, due to the SDI YOLOing off to victory. Not only that, this position, right here, is only relevant if you don't have another way to spot the enemy team's offense. That's to say, the only reason you have a tank here is to spot for the people here. Now, Forgive me, but I consider a Steven 90 stealth in the bush providing vision over the entire base a far better method of doing that than charging an IS-20, a Type 4 and a Type 5 heavy up, with their sides gaping open to the entire rest of the map. I mean, it might have worked if the SD-1 had positioned correctly. It would have also worked if they'd gone up this land, out of render distance and utilising the lay of the land to their defence. Alas, all these damn healthy heavies die with blinding speed as a direct consequence of their shockingly dense positional play, leading us to quite a senseless loss. Okay, so here we have an interesting case study. Do you know what the difference is between a Lemming train and a tactical maneuver? Purpose, direction, motivated action. You can have two games that look exactly the same to any superficial observer. The same tanks in the same places. One can be a Lemming rush and one can be not, with no visible change other than the fact that one of them was motivated. Conceptually, sending 15 tanks to one side of the map is not a bad idea, because you know that you either have an advantage there or you equal the enemy force. The concept, however, is predicated on your team's desire to capitalise on advantage, which is a variable you can never rely on. As you can likely imagine, in the vast majority of circumstances, if you have 15 tanks on a flank, your advantage there is numerically very significant. The concept in layman's terms is you send enough tanks to one side to overwhelm it with such velocity and speed that even without defending the other side, you then have the time to fall back, capitalising on the advantage you just obtained, and defend and destroy what remains of the weakened enemy force that split themselves to cover both flanks. So when I tell you that this game there are/were 13 enemy tanks east of the 6 line, and then I go on to tell you that they spent the better part of 4 minutes doing absolutely jack shit with that asset, you may begin to understand why you're seeing this gameplay. The fact that myself, Ian, or anyone on this flank still requires oil at the end is a testament to the flawed gameplay that we opposed. Unmistakably, they should have immediately pushed over this flank with fury unabated, claiming 5 of our lives and securing that numerical superiority. To be frank, it astonishes me that more people don't grasp this concept, the need to win one flank. If you ever wondered why as a kid when you played tag or stuck in the mud, people instinctively came at you from 2 sides, because it works. And it enforces the need to blank out one side. That's essentially what happened in this game, is the enemy team, the child in this analogy, was standing there being approached from 2 sides, and they absolutely, fundamentally refused to push out one side or just shoot the kid on the right. If you have a numerical overmatch, use it. So, Lakeville, and if you can believe it, I will not be moaning about the 1-2 line this time. Bitslice in the Scorpion G commences this game by moving up to the middle and putting shells downrange with a relentless ambition. And at the point he begins to relocate, you may be realising why this game is worth talking on, because this team are playing it almost perfectly from a tactical perspective. Refer to my video Where to Never Go for more details. The essential step now is that they win the town with speed and conviction, and not do what the T-28 is doing, which is see a flank where you have no support, no cover, no help whatsoever, a flank where you'd be completely isolated, and then think, aha, I, the talentless tank destroyer, would take care of this. You idiot. As you can see, the gentleman meanders over the 1-2 line that may be actually believing that it's the right play to do and that he can handle this situation. No, you can't. You'll die. Utilize your team, you jackass. Shortly thereafter, the T-28 dies. Shocking. And it's revealed that both teams seemingly invested very little in the valley. So the town fight is somewhat balanced, believe it or not. Bitslice pushes up and gets stuck in, starts doing some work, ending by shutting down the T25-2, and before too long connecting a good shell into the lower plate of the Mower Pressure. While hunkered down behind the church, he receives a loving gift from the Udes in the middle, pushes forward, feathers a shot into the lower plate again, but gets shut down, missing his own shot, leaving the Tiger huddled up in the corner against the Mower Pressure. Now, unless my eyes deceive me, that looked like HE. So I've got good news. Now, I don't believe the Scorpion and the Tiger have any affiliation with each other whatsoever, but ironically, the very next game that I opened, when I was looking through these replays, was a replay from none other than the Tiger one. So, mystery solved, let's have a gander. Hold up. This man has the default ammo loadout. And one large repair kit. The fuck? Anyway, what's that shot HE? Oh, you're kidding me? His driver's dead. Oh no. Anyway, yeah, HE is loaded up and of course doing no damage whatsoever from the stock version of the 88mm. The Mower Pressure is being, shall we say, victimized heavily by the artillery. Business delay and the Tiger still unable to deal any damage to, oh my god, it actually died. This just in, the Mower Pressure was so shit, it actually died to 88mm HE. Care to comment, Wargaming?
Be unstoppable. The Mower Pressure.
No. So, given the Mower Pressure didn't actually reset cap, this cap is actually over halfway completed. Two of the remaining RT get knocked out of contention before the T28 shuts down the enemy 40T. The pressure slowly ticks up along with the cap points, edging slowly closer to the win until very close to the end the cap is contested with the enemy 212A entering the skirmish. They begin to move into position and then the Udes appears, providing another angle of complexity. My present issue with how they handle this is the fact that this RT and Business here and the Tiger are sat so close together, meaning that, yes, they do both get reset when the RT fires. Business firing HE still probably not the wisest choice. Meanwhile, the Udes has offered his juicy Swedish bum cheeks to Lord Physics and has received a prompt gift of fucked. Business fires HE at an RT that is a one-shot for his AP. It fails to die, and Business indeed switches to AP to secure the kill, turning around in time to catch the end of the Udes' short-lived flanking maneuver. And hidey-ho, status quo returns to the collection of cap points, until at last the only German heavy tank shitter than the Mower Pressure turns up for some good old hit point haggling. The T28 swiftly overdoses on shit game mechanic and dies, leaving Business in the business. 1 versus 2 and maybe 2.5, I'd say, enemies. Now, throughout this combat, this enemy Tiger P will not only unreservedly insist on exposing himself and his 80mm side repeatedly through these archways, but also on dying pointlessly before something terrible happens, like his team showing up to help him. Here's another Steve rule for you. If you are winning, don't gamble with losers. In layman's terms, if you are in a position of power, advantage, why take the risk of taking a risk? If you can win by being patient, by holding the status quo, recognize that that in turn forces the enemy to fight from that disadvantage. Had the Tiger had some patience, he could have waited for his RT to relocate or come into the cap and easily killed Business while in that situation. Instead, he's dead. Rest in peace. He has, however, left Business unable to cap with the time that is left. Oh, and here comes the cavalry. Big shot from the M40. That's a nice move. 356 from that gentleman. He's gonna get shut down with a second shot. And the M12 pops up, but he's hesitating. Business turns, gets one shot in. The Archie coming out for the shotgun, gets it off, fails to kill him, and gets some lead for the trouble. Now, what a fiasco that was. And in my opinion, the greatest weight of that loss falls squarely on the head of the good old Tiger P, lacking in many ways as a vehicle and not helped by the over-ambitious driver. The lesson here from both teams, echoed from the T28 at the start to the Tiger P at the end: you are part of a team. Utilize it.